back to the second part of this two-part episode with my special guest, Brady.
That was good.
Welcome back to WRGMG. What really grinds Mike's gears. I'm Mike, and Brady will be my guest today. This is Brady.
Hello, America.
And what we were thinking was, what really grinds my gears is when you don't see fat people in exercise commercials. You know, when they're advertising a piece of exercise equipment, you don't see the fat people working out on the exercise equipment. You know, you see the fat people doing the crunches. That isn't the stuff that's not working, and it's always black and white. You know, when they're doing what doesn't work.
Right.
You know, I mean, what's up with that? I mean,
so this is a commonly used technique, I think, in all of marketing, because not only does exercise employ this, but also if you look at acne commercials, how come you never see pimply-ass McGee over there with a face that's full of red marks? No, it's always one kid with a fake-looking dot right on his face that goes away magically with a rub of a cream. Or, I don't know, what else? Maybe a diet program or tooth whitening. How come you never see a guy with yellow teeth falling out of his mouth 1 second and then uses the product and then boom, bam, full white teeth? Why doesn't that happen?
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on this. There was something called Cybersonic. Chuck Rollery was the compensated endorser for that. We shouldn't have gotten this thing. It was like the handle of the toothbrush just pretty much, it vibrated, and that's all it did. I mean, it was supposed to be an electric toothbrush. They called it Rapid White. I'm not sure if I can't remember. But don't buy anything from the Amden Corporation, because that's who sold Cybersonic. It was supposed to be this sonic toothbrush, but
also in the toothbrushes, what about toothbrush sanitizers? Have you ever thought about this or seen these?
No, I haven't.
The toothbrush sanitizer is the idea that, well, you have this toothbrush that overnight builds up bacteria on your toothbrush, and then every day you're putting it in your mouth, introducing more bacteria. But you're already talking about an environment that has millions of cultures and colonies already. So you have this bacteria infested toothbrush that actually isn't that dirty at all, and you're putting it into your mouth, which is really dirty. And people are freaking out about this. They think, well, it's in the same room as my toilet and my dog, and I take dumps in there, so there's fecal coliforms on it. Yeah, that might be true, but compared to your mouth, it's nothing. So they have this ultraviolet UV cleanser that you put your toothbrush under. It alters the DNA of 99.9% of the bacteria, thus sanitizing it, but not sterilizing it. So they can get away by saying sanitizing. And so you're killing all of the good bacteria, the ones that can't withstand the UV. Then you leave it up with the 0.1% that are immune to DNA altering, thus allowed to propagate through the rest of your toothbrush. So you have these ultra strong bacteria that don't die that now you're putting in your mouth. So that's like actually kind of counterintuitive and really dumb to do, but people are taking up the hype, and I think that's really stupid. Sorry, I guess
a dog's mouth is cleaner than your mouth. So next time you're necking or you're tongue kissing your boyfriend or girlfriend or both, whatever. And so just remember that a dog's mouth is cleaner than your mouth.
Pretty much anything you find is going to be cleaner than a person's mouth.
Yeah, well, you know, what I was saying about, I saw a braces commercial, and the woman that was thinking about getting braces, her teeth were straight. You know, why don't I ever see the fat people doing the Tybo exercises? Why don't I see the fat people doing the...
Yeah, this is what it will be like. Your fat ass trying to do this. This is how hard it's going to be. No, instead let's have Chuck Norris kicking some guy in the face and then doing this. Oh yeah, well maybe if after 3 months I'll be able to kick some ass, but no, they never show that. They never show, you know, John Candy on the treadmill.
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe well, here I went shopping on the tax-free weekend, and tax-free, first of all, I'm not even sure if I come out a winner after the tax-free weekend, because number one, I think they mark up the prices anyways, because they know people shopping on the tax-free weekend are going to buy it no matter what, because they think they're saving money on the taxes. Okay, but then I go into to the fitting room and I'm trying on some jeans, I'm trying on some shirts, and I say, well, I don't want to get it too big. I might lose some weight. Yeah, fat chance, fat ass. Okay, I mean, I just that's what How many times have you said that? And I mean, I grind my gears sometimes like that. I will, I'm the type of person that will go to a gas station. I'll say, put $6 on number 13, and then I'll forget to go get the gas. I mean, I'm that type of person. That's never happened to me, but if it did, I wouldn't be surprised. Brady?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right for you. I don't know if I've ever done that.
Yeah, and that grinds my gears when I set something down and I just had it and I can't find it again.
Locking your keys in the car.
That's happened to me maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
Not very often.
See, whenever I know I'm gonna lock my car behind me, I always throw my keys on the ground to make sure that I don't leave them in the car. I guess it doesn't work if it's raining out, and you might break your remote keyless entry.
Well, I think we've accidentally washed ours, not in the sink, not in the washer, but because we're trying to wash off the key, not the actual keyless entry.
So what else grinds your gears besides cell phones?
Oh.
Dr. Phil.
Well, here's my impression of Dr. Phil. Hoo-haw! Hoo-haw, hoo-ha! Hoo-haw! Hoo-haw, hoo-ha! And Brady, what did you have to say about that?
I would say that though humorous in nature, might not completely describe the extent to which he's incoherent.
Dr. Phil capitalizes on the misfortune of others, I think, and because you never see the how are they now, or where are they now kinds of things. You don't see how my life is much better since I've been on the Dr. Phil show. I've never seen a follow-up episode of those. I only see new episodes, and I mean, it's just.
That's done for one of 2 possible reasons. One, they don't want to expose how ineffective Dr. Phil actually is, or 2, it really is working and wouldn't make for a great show. So there's really no way to say. So maybe they could have a little 5-minute or 3-minute introduction saying, by the way, our stuff does work, here's an example, or it's just they say, hey, it actually doesn't work, let's not talk about it and pretend like it does.
Here's my message, I dare you to fix my life.
It's not messed up enough.
Yeah, we may think, we have it bad, and then something really bad happens, and they say, well, you know what, now that this has happened, how my life was before doesn't seem so bad. I wish I could go back to that, Just a little thought there.
So you're talking about the decline in America and how we're using resources abundant to us, but maybe not the rest of the world.
Well, I was going to say that, people are dying to go vote in other countries, and we can't even get up to 50% voting rate.
Let's not forget the people who have died to allow this.
Yes. I think it's your responsibility. I mean, some people think, only smart people should be allowed to vote. I mean, like, you should have to take a test to vote. But really, it's a right and a privilege, because, if you can't vote if you're a felon, right?
Well, you can't vote if you're in jail.
Oh, if you're in jail. Okay. So it is sort of a privilege in that respect. But I think that some of the people who say straight democracy would be, mob rule. I mean, that may, what do you think about that? Do you think if it was just flat out democracy?
Well, given that scenario, you're talking about an environment that's so self-convoluted that you're never going to get any sort of progress. How long would it take to get 250 to 270 million people every day voting on the most minute congressional detail on something that doesn't really affect everyone? I mean, I think that the crossover is definitely a more viable means of representation, even though it might not be as direct as possible. It's sacrificing in areas to make up for it in way better ways. That's my opinion.
Well, and while I say this, take this with a grain of salt or whatever. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Whatever you want to say. I mean, I said earlier. Actually, someone brought this to my attention. One of our friends actually said this once, and he said, some people walk 2 miles for muddy drinking water, while while I see kids that are spraying each other with water and squirt guns, like it just coming out of the hose, and it's you had something to say about that, baby.
I did. I mean, if you're talking about problems with that, well, then why not just have kids drop down in the sewer, fill up their super soakers with gray water? I mean, that's an option. But I mean, when you're talking about 3% of the water on Earth is fresh, and then only a small percentage of that is even drinkable. You're using purely drinkable water squirting at kids. But I mean, land the free, home of the brave. We can pretty much do that if we want.
I refuse to get into politics when I'm hosting the show by myself. But now that I have a guest here today, we're graced by the presence of Brady, his distinguished, he's very my distinguished guest, honored guest, Brady. I will not take any side.